People love to debate cash flow versus growth like one of them is right. But that is the wrong conversation. The truth is, the best strategy depends on where you are in your life and in your career, not what looks good on a spreadsheet. Early in your career, growth makes sense. If you don't need income to survive, you can afford to take long-term equity bets. You can build businesses, partnerships, and assets that don't pay you today because you're playing the long game. But here's what nobody talks about. If you need income to pay your bills, chasing long-term equity can quietly trap you. You've locked into assets or illiquid assets that don't help you today. Every month feels urgent. Every setback feels stressful. And when you're in survival mode, you stop thinking long-term. You rush decisions. You take bad deals. You accept situations you shouldn't. This is where cash flow changes the game. Hey guys, before we get back into today's video, I want to say something important. On this channel, we talk a lot about how real wealth is built, not through hype, not through speculation, but by investing in high quality assets in strong markets with disciplined underwriting. Well, right now, Walk of Wealth Capital has an allocation open in a 354 unit Class A multifamily property in one of the fastest growing submarkets in Orlando. It was a trophy property built in 2021 and acquired below replacement cost by the current sponsor in 2024. It's already operating and performing exceptionally well. This is not a construction bet. This is not a heavy value add play. This is the kind of institutional real estate most individual investors never get access to. Now, if you've been watching this channel and you've been thinking, listen, I love what Dr. Johnny's talking about, and at some point, I'm going to actually participate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, doctors and doctettes, this is one of those moments. If you want to review this full deal presentation, underwriting, and video recording, check the first link in the description below for free registration to our Walk of Wealth Capital Fund. The allocation is limited and it will be first come, first served. Now, let's get back to today's video. Cash flow isn't about lifestyle upgrades. It's about freedom. Now, hear me out. When your basic expenses are covered by assets producing cash flow, you get your head back, right? You gain margin for error. You can step away from work that's draining you, right? You gain optionality. You can build properly instead of desperately. That is the real power of cash flow. Once your life is covered, something very interesting happens. You gain optionality. You can wait for better deals. You can say no more often than you say yes. You avoid rushed partnerships and misaligned opportunities. You see, optionality compounds faster than returns. And then the strategy flips again. When your lifestyle is covered and time is working for you, patient equity makes sense again. Lockups don't scare you. Volatility doesn't change your behavior. You're choosing growth from security, not desperation. And later in life, cash flow becomes important all over again. And at this point, it's not so that you can grow fast, but it's so that you can live well. Predictable, practice replacing income. The biggest mistake I see investors make isn't picking the wrong asset. It's picking the right strategy at the wrong stage of life. You see, every investment is not for everybody, right? You have to optimize it to what your goals are. Great investors don't argue cash flow versus growth. In fact, they kind of go hand in hand depending on the investment. But what great investors do is they sequence cash flow and growth correctly. If this way of thinking resonates, designing investments around life instead of the other way around, now that's exactly what we talk about inside the Walk of Wealth Mastermind. The link's in the description below. All right, guys, hope you got value from this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.